It was December 2004 when Dr. Richard Sternberg, an evolutionary biologist and researcher at the Smithsonian Institution, walked into his office to find that his career had been effectively destroyed. His crime? He had allowed the publication of a peer-reviewed paper that challenged the dominant evolutionary paradigm and suggested that intelligent design deserved scientific consideration. His case was not unique. Throughout history, scientists who have dared to challenge evolution have been marginalized, their work dismissed, not because of a lack of scientific merit, but because of the implications of their findings. If evolution crumbles, it is not just a biological theory that falls, it is an entire worldview. This chapter is an exposé of suppressed science, forgotten discoveries, and uncomfortable truths. We will explore the scientific evidence that supports creation, reveal the deepest flaws in evolution, and expose how inconvenient facts are buried to preserve a narrative that denies a creator. The fossil record, a silent witness against evolution. Darwin himself admitted that the fossil record posed a challenge to his theory. If evolution were true, we should find millions of transitional fossils documenting the slow transformation of one species into another. Yet, after over 150 years of fossil discoveries, the overwhelming pattern is one of sudden appearance and stability, exactly what one would expect if life was created, not evolved. The so-called Cambrian explosion remains one of the biggest mysteries in evolutionary biology. In this geological period, nearly all major animal phyla appeared suddenly, fully formed without evolutionary ancestors. This is not slow, gradual change. This is instant complexity, a pattern far more consistent with creation than with Darwinian evolution. Yet these facts are rarely highlighted in textbooks. Instead, misleading diagrams and oversimplified narratives suggest a smooth, uninterrupted transition of life, a story built on assumption rather than evidence. The information problem: can randomness create complexity? One of the most devastating blows to evolution comes from the field of information theory. Evolution relies on the idea that random mutations and natural selection can generate new, useful biological information over time. But information, by its very nature, does not arise from chaos. It requires intelligence. Dr. Werner Gitt, a leading information scientist, argues that DNA is not just chemistry, it is coded information. This means that life does not just consist of molecules reacting randomly, it contains a language-like structure that is ordered, structured, and purposeful. This presents a profound problem for evolution. Where did this highly sophisticated, error-correcting, self-replicating information come from? The only known source of coded information is intelligence. The presence of a genetic language is far more compatible with design than with blind, unguided processes. The myth of vestigial organs and junk DNA. For decades, evolutionists claimed that humans have vestigial organs, remnants of evolutionary history that no longer serve a purpose. The appendix, tonsils, and tailbone were all labeled as useless leftovers. Yet, modern research has completely overturned this idea. The appendix plays a key role in the immune system. Tonsils help defend against infections. The tailbone serves as an anchor for muscles supporting posture. The same is true for junk DNA. Once thought to be useless evolutionary leftovers, now understood to have critical regulatory and coding functions. The idea that much of our DNA is junk was not a scientific conclusion. It was an assumption based on evolutionary bias. This exposes a deeper issue: how many other facts about evolution are actually assumptions that will be overturned by future research. The fine-tuning of the universe, designed for life. Astrophysicists have discovered that the universe operates within astonishingly precise parameters. The strength of gravity, the expansion rate of the universe, the properties of water, and the balance of fundamental forces are all set within extremely narrow margins. If any of these constants were even slightly different, life could not exist. Dr. Fred Hoyle, a prominent astrophysicist, was forced to acknowledge this phenomenon, known as the fine-tuning problem, presents an insurmountable challenge for atheistic evolution. The most rational explanation for a finely tuned system is deliberate design. Why is this information suppressed? Despite the overwhelming evidence pointing to design, purpose, and creation, mainstream science refuses to acknowledge it. Why? Because admitting design means admitting a designer. Dr. Richard Lewontin, a prominent evolutionary biologist, openly admitted, "This is not about following the evidence. This is about defending a worldview." Scientists who question evolution face ridicule, censorship, and professional consequences. The message is clear: conform or be silenced. Conclusion: science points to a creator. The deeper we look into biology, cosmology, and information science, the clearer it becomes. Life does not arise by chance. It is coded, structured, and designed. The fossil record does not support evolution. It reveals sudden appearance and stability. The universe is not chaotic. It is finely tuned for life. If we truly believe in following the evidence wherever it leads, then we must be willing to consider creation as the most rational explanation. The suppression of these facts is not about science. It is about ideology. The question is, will we have the courage to challenge the narrative? Like, share, and subscribe to uncover more.